morning, Jack the Nerdy fans. Welcome to my non-spoiler review for Joker Folie à Deux, or Joker 2. Before we jump into that review, as always, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you guys never miss out on a video. And if you do enjoy our content, please make sure you give these videos a thumbs up. It greatly supports the channel and it doesn't cost you a thing. So without further ado, let's jump into it. So anyone who's been watching this channel for a while will know I am a massive Batman fan. Batman is my guy. That is the superhero that I connected with as a child and I still connect with today on many, many levels. There are other superheroes as well that I absolutely adore, but Batman was the guy for me. We've had some brilliant films over the years. We've had, I mean, you guys know, we've had awesome Batman content over the years. And obviously a couple of years ago, as we all know, Todd Phillips did the Joker film starring Joaquin Phoenix. Now, audiences were very divided on that film. A lot of people loved and adored it. A lot of people not so much. Personally, I fell into the category of, I was right in the middle. I was like, You know, there were some things I really liked about the original Joker film. I thought the way they linked it into the Batman, franchise, and they had subtle little bits and pieces here, tying it into the greater Batman universe. I mean, look, the way that it was shot was really good. Obviously all the kind of the story, the story and everything. I just kind of fell in the camp where I was very underwhelmed by it. Obviously, I mean, it got huge. It made $1 billion and it got awards up the wazoo. But then originally it was supposed to be a one and done film. Originally, Todd Phillips said, no, it's just one film and that's it. But then obviously it made $1 billion. So then the studio, for lack of a better term, forced him to do a sequel. And that's where we are today with Joker Folie à Deux. So, my thoughts on this film. First of all, I mean, let's look at the visuals. I mean, the visuals, Todd Phillips did do a very, very good job with the visuals. The visuals in this film are very, very good. The casting, I mean, come on, you've got Joaquin Phoenix coming back, you've got Lady Gaga, who, look, for better or for worse, I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of her music or her persona. Some of her songs are really good, but, whatever. I think with what she had, she did quite well, but I'll get into that in a little bit more detail in a moment. So I mean, overall the casting was fine. No real issues with the casting. But the film itself, the movie itself, is not good. This is not a good movie. Where the original Joker film had a story to tell. It was about a man who was suffering and had issues in a world where they had no empathy for him and his issues, and the world didn't know how to deal with him and his issues. And there was a big juxtaposition, and there was a theme and a story and what have you. This film has no story. There is no point to this film. They made it purely for the sake of making it. Some people say, like, the point of a story, the point of a movie is that you have a start, a middle, and an end. And the person at the start of the film is not the same person at the end of the film, and there's an arc and a development to them. There is none of that here. The Arthur that you have at the start of this film is the same Arthur that you have at the end of this film. There's no evolution to the character. This was a film that was made for the sake of making a film, and that's it, pure and simple. this the characters in this film and the character development, there is none of it there. I mentioned Lady Gaga. Her, like, they completely changed. She is supposed to be Harley Quinzel, or Harley Quinn. This iteration of Harley Quinn had absolutely zero connection or zero, like, it was a completely different person that just happened to have the same name. There's zero connection to the Harley Quinzel that we know from the comics and from the Batman lore. In fact, her character played very little to nothing to do with this whole film. Like, you could have completely removed her character from this film, and it would have been no different. She played zero role really in this film, which is a shame. It's a waste. Like I said, she Lady Gaga did well with what she had to work with. However, what she had to work with was next to nothing, and it was just dog shit and what have you. My biggest issue with this film is bear with me here because it all ties in. The film itself is just over 2 hours long. It's 2 hours and 18 minutes. The way that they shot this film, they shot it as a musical. So literally every 10 minutes to 15 minutes, they're breaking out in song. The songs have zero connection and zero meaning to the story. Like, you think of things like Les Mis or Phantom of the Opera, Singing in the Rain, Moulin Rouge. All of these films are musicals, and the songs in them are key storytelling moments. They tell part of the story and they move the story along. In this film, every single song, every single musical moment is just dead space. The songs have nothing to do with the movie. They have nothing to do with the story. They don't move the story along in any way. If anything, they hinder it. So you'll be in a really intense moment and you'll be getting a lot of information and things will be developing, and then wait, stop. I'm going to do a little song and dance. That means absolutely nothing. And then you can continue with your story afterwards. Like, it is, I mean, excuse the pun, but it's a complete and utter joke. If anything, like, I could have understood, like, if they did it maybe once or twice at the start of the film and then once or twice at the end of the film to kind of juxtaposition what his mental state is at the start of the film and what his mental state is at the end of the film. But we didn't need them breaking out in song every 10 to 15 minutes and disrupting the flow of the movie and just wasting time. Literally, this film could have been cut down to between an hour and a half just by removing all the singing and dancing, and it would have been just as decent a film, if not maybe even a little bit better of a film, because you would have got, the point would have been made, the story would have moved along smoother, and you would have come to your conclusion and moved on. So in all honesty, this movie is a shit show from start to finish. It really is a joke. I really did not I mean, as I said, I mean, one thing I will say in its defense, there were, just like what they did in the first Joker film, there were very subtle cues sprinkled throughout this film that link this story into the Batman universe. So in those little tidbits and Easter eggs, I personally got a bit of enjoyment out of. However, I'll say the exact same thing I said about the first Joker film. You could have removed anything that referenced the Batman universe. You could have removed those elements. Maybe put a different name in instead of, I don't know, like instead of Harvey Dent, or instead of the name the Wayne family, or whatever. You could have removed those names, replaced them with something else, removed any references to Batman, and called it something completely different, and the film would have been exactly the same. You didn't have to link this film into the Batman universe and call it Joker. It could have been absolutely anything else, and it still would have hit the same and been exactly the same. Like, nothing would have changed. Same thing for Joker Folie à Dieu. You could have called it something completely different. You could have removed all the references to the Batman universe and it would have been exactly the same. A heaping pile of dog shit. Those are my thoughts and opinions on this film. Look, if you absolutely loved the first Joker film, unfortunately, I don't think you're going to like this film. If you hated the first Joker film, you're definitely going to hate this film. I think a lot of audiences are going to be disappointed. That being said, you've heard me say on this channel numerous times, all cinema is subjective. My opinion may be completely different from your opinion. You may really like this film. So, look, I'm not going to sit here and say, don't go and see this film. I'll never say to you, unless a film is gut-wrenchingly horrible, which I have seen a few of them over the years, I'll never try to dissuade you from making up your own opinion. But, that being said, in my opinion, this film was a complete and utter waste of time. It's complete and utter dog shit. Really, that Warner Brothers should have just been happy with their $1 billion that they got from the first film and maybe invested in a different franchise or something else. But that's just my opinion. Hit me up in the comment section below. Let me know what you guys think of this film. Did you enjoy it? Did you not enjoy it? I'd be interested to find out what other audiences think. So hit me up in the comment section below. Let me know what you guys think of Joker Folie à Dieu. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. As I said, we got lots more content coming out over the next couple of months. And until next time, guys, stay jacked and stay nerdy.